Good morning, party people. Welcome to the breakdown with Nath and cool dude Johnny.
You were going to let me do that whole reaction with those on my head, weren't you?
My favourite thing is when you leave your sunglasses on your head like a cool dude. Today we're checking out the brand new track from our boys in Memphis May Fire, The American Dream, as well as having a little chat with the lads. Very excited.
Well, yeah, very, very exciting times indeed, and we are stoked that they want to join us on here. We've been actually trying to make this happen for a minute.
It has been a hot minute.
But they're busy guys, we're busy guys. Well, I'm not a busy guy. But anyway, look, it's no secret that we have absolutely freaking loved everything that they've dropped. So we are so damn keen to jump into this one, which we're going to do.
We might, we'll do the reaction first, we'll watch the clip, and then we'll have a chat with them after. So, without further ado, headphones on.
Now look, if the fact that we've got a couple of the lads from Memphis May Fire here with us hasn't made you like and subscribe and check out the merch and even potentially put some money in that donation, it's like, I don't know what will. Today, Junior.
That's right. Go! A 2, a 1.
Warning, this song will be awesome. Woo-hoo-hoo! Give us some tempo, boys. Sick.
Have we got a whoa in there?
It's like an electronic whoa, but it still counts. Whoa, fucking rip! Nice job.
Thank you. There's a bit more of like an electronic influence in this song.
Yeah,
Bit
for sure.
more LP vibes.
Yes, but like
Lego Park for those who play at home.
faster. Oh, I thought you were saying leg press.
Because leg press
because
vibes,
this makes you want to. This makes you want to jump up and down.
You stand up and do that, and
Nope.
we'll keep watching.
Get deep, Matty.
I gotta pause it there because
Yeah.
I want to discuss the melody in that chorus.
Oh, mate.
Say no more.
Yeah. Oh. This is where you should put the Homer drooling over the Venus gummy. Oh, remember that episode?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, man. It was so catchy, and I love the placement of the lyrics, how he's changed it up. And yeah, super catchy, hitting that little high note in there.
One thing I have noticed over the past few singles is the creativity that has been used in a lot of the vocals.
Yeah.
We have already touched a lot on Kellen's guitar tone being standout in all of this, but I think Memphis, one of the huge things they have is obviously Matty's vocals are insane, and the way that they play with it, not just go the stock standard, like clean, heavy. There's mix within that.
Yeah, and when you've got such a great voice, it can be so easy for bands to fall into that trap where it's like, well, if we just make a nice, simple, hooky chorus, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, for me, that's bands like Fall Out Boy, where you kind of know what you're going to get a lot of the time from them. Whereas, you know, Matty's obviously been doing this for so long now that he knows his voice, he knows what he's done, he knows what he can do, and he really sort of plays on that experience and switches it up a lot in those choruses, which make him super exciting.
Let's keep going.
Look away from corruption, 'cause what's out of spite is out of mind. Show your teeth.
So deep. Love that.
We live for the war, but we don't know what we're dying for. We don't know what we're dying for.
So much fucking
Don't
groove.
know what we're dying for.
Dude, that is sick.
Vultures circle in the land of the free. The American dream is staring at the saves.
Woo! Filthy!
The American dream is never what it said. I don't know who I can trust anymore. Honey, he said, she said, we said, give me truth, give me something to believe in. Sometimes I feel like we're asking for more. We live for the war, but we don't know what we're dying for. 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 We don't know what we're dying for.
Hot damn.
Hot diggity damn.
You're absolutely right. There's a lot of distrust, malcontent with the American system right now, isn't there? We've noticed that in a few tracks recently.
Look, I think that that's something that America has had a lot of for some time, and I think obviously that it's, you know, if we're going to get political for a moment, I think that's pretty apparent in most countries. But what I feel like has happened since the whole COVID pandemic thing is it's really started to sort of make people take a bit of a look at how their government does things and why their government does things, and just focus a little bit more, because
I don't think it's just in the government.
it's
though.
just anything, like, yeah, like how people treat each other, how, you know, each country works, because it's something that has, you know, like, affected every single person. There's a lot of issues, you know, like, obviously you take notice of them and things like that, but they don't affect every single person directly. The pandemic's hurt everybody,
Yeah, for sure.
and it doesn't, you know, distinguish between who you are, your class, your colour, your social standing, anything like that. It's just fucked everyone in some way or another. So I think it's made people a little bit more conscious about people and government and countries and things like that. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the world moves forward from this in that sense as well. And yeah, good to hear them getting a little bit more sort of, I guess, politically minded in that sense.
I definitely think the lyrical content on all of the past singles, this is what, single 6 from them we've done in the last year?
Yeah,
Hot damn.
dropping them like hot stones.
You're just juggling him, you idiot. I don't know why it's converting me!
Drop it!
But yeah, the lyrical content it's never been something they've shied away from to discuss heavy topics, which I think is something you kind of expect from them. So I'm not surprised, but I don't know, like I noticed that one in the, there's been a few lately, I can't think off the top of my head, but whether we've noticed been like, oh, okay, cool, there's obviously a bit of unrest going on there, so
Yeah.
interesting. Having said that, hot damn, these guys are dropping absolute bangers. That's riff-tastic, melodylicious. The beat, the drums on this is something we have talked about it briefly, but I feel like that was actually a real standout in that one as well. That intro bit just kicked into gear so hard.
They're fucking clever boys. Like, they've dropped something that fits seamlessly into the other songs that they've done, but it's a completely different style and tempo in many ways. And I do feel like with a song like that, where it is sort of fast and upbeat, you really get to feel a little bit more of the impact of that rhythm section, the drums and the bass, because it's so powerful and driving, and it gives like the guitar riffs and the vocals so much room to just do their thing over the top and like be creative, I guess, like be just as creative. The riffs in that was so rad.
So rad. So
Like
right. Everyone has
that
their
breakdown riff, man.
Yeah, the
Fucking
tone
hell.
there is. Whew. Hey, let's stop rambling. Let's have a chat to the boys.
Yeah, let's do that.
And there we go.
Progress.
Yeah, fully.
Technology.
If I'm not okay with being recorded.
Well,
Never.
too bad, motherfucker. We're on. Welcome to the No Option Show with Nath and Johnny.
Yeah.
No, my dudes,
Nice.
thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you guys being here.
yeah, man. Kellen and I are big fans of you guys, so it's
We
cool.
love
to
you
get-
guys.
Thanks, man.
Our first 2 fans. It's so
Yeah.
nice. We've been hoping all this time we'd get someone to like it.
Biggest fans.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It seems like, Kellen and I are old, so like we didn't really fully understand the reaction thing. It's been it was before we dropped Blood and Water. It was like 3 years before we put something out, and in that
Yeah.
time frame, it seemed like the whole reaction thing had gotten so much bigger. And so we put out Blood and Water and got all these videos, and we're like, dang, this is wild. Like I'm watching someone listen to my music that other people are watching listen to my music that are also listening to the music. It's the
Welcome
weirdest.
to the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's like
Music
Inception,
Yeah.
But
well,
we
look,
love
we-
it, man.
We didn't understand it either. Like, because I couldn't do music because of COVID, and we always talk about music, and like, I was just like, dude, let's try this shit that everyone's doing and give it a crack. And
Yeah, we literally just had like a text chat every day. Me, Johnny, and then another mate, where we talk music every day. Where we're like, oh, you see this song, this band's coming out, whatever it was. And then during lockdown, Johnny's like, we should just like get on and it's an excuse to hang out and we can like film it. So we put it on my old YouTube channel and it just kind of blew up and became a thing. And we weren't really expecting it either. And we're still figuring it out. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys bring like a level of quality that a lot of other people aren't, with this kind of thing, and that's one thing that really makes it so attractive. So
No, thanks,
props
man.
to you guys, man.
Really
Let's
glad we paid him for this.
Yeah,
Paid him the
yeah,
big
yeah.
bucks to say this.
Dude, y'all's thumbnails are hilarious. I look forward to that every time. Like photoshopping your faces on somebody else
Yeah,
is
thank
always
you
so
very much.
funny.
It's my favorite part of doing this is just fucking with Johnny, seeing what dumb stuff we can do.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm the
That's
butt of
awesome.
the channel. Yeah.
You guys say you're old. How old are you? Yeah, I don't think you're much older than us. You're definitely not older than him.
I'm 36.
I
How
am.
old are you?
I'm
I'm
33.
40. I'm 40 this year, dude.
No
And I'm
way,
also-
really?
I'm 33
Yeah, man.
as well.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, you guys just look great over there in Australia. You're getting all the vitamin D.
Plus, yeah, there's sunshine down there. Sunshine in the ocean is keeping you young.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, we don't have to go outside with a blower vac to get rid of snow in the morning.
Bro, I'm telling you, we usually get 1 to 2 days of snow a year max, and we've already had 2. So I'm hoping that's.
That's
I wish
it.
I could take my camera.
Done, yeah.
Beautiful outside today. And by beautiful, I mean it's cold, but at least the sun came out today. So
Yeah, we're looking at like 27 degrees Celsius today. It's like that 95 for you guys
Wow.
and sunny. So
wow, heaven. My wife and I are flying to Orlando tomorrow, and we're chasing the sun, dude. We're gonna try to go get some rays ourselves. So we'll see.
Fuck yeah.
make the most of it. Hey, so we just jumped on and watched the new clip, a new track.
Oh, you
Way
did?
to be consistent. Holy fuck, you guys are killing it.
Well, thank you.
I'm so glad you dig it, dude. It's weird to do the one song on the record with the word American in it with a couple of Aussies, but
Oh
Hey.
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
We it's interesting though. We did actually mention this in our little intro. It's interesting hearing there seems to be a lot of like discontent with the American way right now.
definitely,
Yeah.
It's
definitely, yeah.
I mean, you guys have never really shied away from being honest with your lyricism, but I mean, as outsiders, like the American way is definitely. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I've got so many phone calls coming this morning. The American way seems to be criticized a lot more heavily these days. Is that
Yeah.
something that was a conscious thing? Was that considered as a single? Was that something you were worried about releasing, or?
No, I think that it doesn't really, like, as an American, it doesn't really matter what side of things you're on right now. Everybody is upset about something, right? And the perspective of this track is, it's not a political standpoint because we are in no way, shape, or form a political band. It's from a human standpoint. It's saying like, since when did we fight to the teeth over everything. Like why is it that we can't fight for common good? Why is it that we have to fight our fellow man? It's literally everything. It doesn't matter what you express, somebody's going to get angry about it. And I think that it goes deeper than just like people being upset or like puffing up their chest. I think it's that everybody, with everything that's happened over the last couple of years, everybody's window of tolerance is so small. So usually like the smallest thing you could kind of brush it off, and now it's like the smallest thing sets everybody off, and and it makes you feel like you're being attacked, or it makes you feel like you're the one that needs to attack. And it's just this like, I've never seen people so short fused
Yeah, for sure.
in my whole life. And so, like me being like a hope enthusiast, and our band and our mission always just wanting to provide hope through music or whatever we do. It felt like this song had a place on the record. It, how we feel needed to be said. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, I think some people, you know how people are. I mean, people will take it as a political standpoint. People will take it as whatever they want to take it as, but we just want Americans and people all over the world, for that matter, to be fighting for the same thing, which is just the betterment of humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you said everyone's window of tolerance has become smaller through this whole pandemic, and that, which to me is fucking super weird and ironic, because we've all now seen that there is something out there. There are things out there that are so much bigger than us, that are so much more dangerous than us, so much more, dangerous than our little squabbles and things like that. You would have thought our window for tolerance for each other would have actually got bigger, but it's done the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's flip-flopped.
Yeah, well, fear shrinks it. You know what I mean? It's like, I think I almost made my wife delete her news app off of her phone the other day. Every morning, like every morning she'll have like a thing pop up, and it's just like, this person, like threw a baby in a dumpster or something. I'm like, babe, like, that's so terrible. And if there was something that we could do about that, it would be great that you would get that notification. But it's so disconnected from like you don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't need like that constant feed of negativity. And there's never going to be a news headline that's something great,
Baby duckling was super cute. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah. I would download that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'd rather go on the internet and look at dog videos for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brittany and I spend probably at least 15 to 20 minutes every night before we fall asleep just scrolling through dog videos.
Yeah.
My dog, it's the best. Hey,
I think that people being fearful or people being fed fear, it makes you anxious. It makes you feel heavy. It makes you feel pressured. It makes you feel like weighed down. And so when that happens, you're on high alert, like at all moments. It's almost like you're waiting for someone to do something that you're going to have to react to, just out of a sense of urgency, like this like constant state of anxiety. And because of that, somebody that does something that's not a big deal at all will set someone off in a really big way, and people will be looking for somebody to blame for everything that's going on around them. And hopefully we're coming to the end of that. I never know. I try to do what we can do for who we can do it for, and like affect our immediate community here where we live. Like we're very focused on our immediate community, the people that we actually do influence on a day-to-day basis, and we of course always hope that our music is doing something for people as well. So
I mean, right now you're going to have at least 7 people that see this video. What's your advice? Because like I did a podcast with a mate recently and said one of the things that I did in the past year was I actually did unfollow a lot of those like clickbait news media headline stuff and started following like really positive pages for that sort of thing. So like the Good News Movement. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Insta, but it's
absolutely
just like every week they have like, here's 7 things that happen in the world that are actually great right now. Have you got something you would recommend putting to action of how people can kind of look for the better and the hope in things rather than focus on those negatives?
Yeah.
Definitely stay off Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's not a thing in Australia. We just don't use Twitter.
Not that much.
Are you for real?
I started a Twitter and then I just was like, I just say this shit and annoy people.
It's
on
just
Instagram.
not a thing over here.
That's why Australia is full of happy people, man.
Yeah, that's why you guys are so cheerful all the time. Just don't have Twitter. Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself an expert on advice like that. I guess like in my own life, like I was saying earlier, focus on your community, your family, your friends, your loved ones, the people that are right in front of you that you actually have influence on, and not so much, you know, the world of the internet and everything that's going on there that you don't have control on. And if you're dealing with something, instead of looking for all the things to around you to blame, look at the person in the mirror and try to figure out what it is in your life that you can change. What are the things that you are in control of? Actually, I was just thinking about this earlier today. I was like, how can I put this dude on blast? And I guess I'll use this as an opportunity to do that. This is Michael Norman Official is the guy's Instagram. And he's a former scientist who has studied specifically anxiety, depression, and panic. And having gone through a lot of that myself, the resources that this guy has on his Instagram, it's so slept on. He's got like 47,000 followers. He should have 47 million. He is unbelievably smart and so like just so knowledgeable about everything regarding anxiety and depression. Michael Norman Official on Instagram. Hopefully you guys can see that. I wish everybody I knew would follow this account.
I'll go share it my Insta after.
Yeah, whether you struggle with anxiety and depression or whether you don't, you're going to come across somebody that does. And having this kind of information, these kind of resources to offer to the people in your life that you love that are struggling is unmatched. This is an unmatched Instagram for that kind of help. And so Michael Norman Official, thank you for everything that you do. I am a massive, massive fan of his. But yeah, man, I guess that's what I do.
Kellen, what do you got?
I think for me, the biggest thing I've seen, just like witnessing other people like struggle with like family members that they don't agree with. I saw a lot of that over the holidays. Yeah. It's like, dude, you just gotta remember that they're also people, you know, like whether people have good ideas or bad ideas or anything in between, like whatever, they go to bed at night and they rest their head on a pillow. They're still a person, and you got to remember their humanity, because if we do this thing, I feel like just all over the world now of like, if you're over there or you're over there and you have this idea, well, you just like dehumanize them and reduce them down to whatever that thing is. And because that's a lot easier to manage. It's like, oh, well, all these people are just this and no longer people, you know? And so I can just kind of categorize them and not have to treat them as people. And I don't know, that just really bums me out.
It's really the worst thing about the internet. I mean, like, especially with social media, something that was created to connect everyone, and it did that. Oh yeah. You know, like, which was great. But then, like you've said, like, it gives you that ability to sort of see them as not another person, because when you're on your phone, they're nothing more than words on a screen and a little thumbnail picture. They're not a person to you. But if you're standing in front of that person, you sort of got to say, would I say the same things? Or would I just shake their hand or give them a hug and say, let's chat about this? And we just don't do that. We don't do that on
No, we don't.
Yeah, social media can be a real double-edged sword. I think there are so many positive things that come from that. I mean, fuck, right now, we're having a conversation that can potentially help people that wouldn't have happened. Like, Johnny and I have watched you guys play years ago in Australia, you know, back when live music was a thing. To be able to then like fast forward, whatever, 5-6 years, and be able to like have conversations together that can then potentially help influence and inspire other people to change their life. That's something that wouldn't have happened without social media. Like YouTube's afforded us a platform to do that. And I've got my own thing on Insta that allows me to do that. I think there are positives there. It's just, I guess, the perspective and the way we look at them as well. So great ideas. Exactly what you're saying. Like the small people you're around, but also using social for positive can be a really important thing. And I think that, I don't know, I hate to just jump on and be like, that's the devil. Like, Twitter's bad, because I'm sure Twitter has some really positive outcomes.
Oh
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't
know.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't help too that like when people get on social media and go searching for positive stuff, you know, you may see like people responding in comments or something like that, and it quickly turns on a dime and goes really negative. And then, you know, so many times I'll see somebody just ripping into someone and I'm like, why are you spending so much of your time to do this? And then you go to their account and it's most likely like a fake account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
means somebody has way too much time to make a fake account and go argue with people. And
you've got to stop doing that.
Sorry.
Yeah, you have to stop.
I've been in Kellen's inbox. Like,
it was you this whole time. I knew it.
Yeah, man, I think that it would be amazing if everybody understood that everyone has had a lifetime of experience leading up to the point that they're at, that's led them to believe or act or feel the way that they are in this current season of their life. And so if you strongly disagree with that, that's okay. But to play off of what Kellen said, I mean, to see every single person as a human being, regardless of what they've said or what they've done, and to try to level with them at least on that. You know, like I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what you think about masks. I want you to know that like I see you as a living, breathing miracle, which is what every human being is. Life and existence in general is miraculous, and if you believe something that's strongly different from what I believe, and you know, as long as you're not like hurting people, obviously, right? There's obvious things, but if you believe something that's different than what I believe, I just hope that you find true happiness, right? Along that path, and it's just I think that we can all do better. But like I said earlier, I think it all starts with us, every person, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, like where you said like life is a miracle, it is like, and it can be gone like that. And my sort of approach, I mean, like, you know, especially when I'm leaving, you know, my family for the day for work or whatever, is you got to remember like that what you say to someone could potentially be the last thing that they ever hear. So you always got to try and have that positive spin on things as well. Like, you know, even if something's shitty, just try and sort of look past it and say, we're going to get through it. It's going to be sweet. I accept your opinion or whatever you've said. And yeah, just like you said, remember that they're human as well.
Yeah. Good chat.
Yeah, we got really
Did you
deep
want to,
and heavy
did you
at
want to
the
get
start.
serious? Because
Yeah.
we're fucking doing this morning, man.
Everything you guys say sounds uplifting.
All right, let's listen to music.
Yeah. So let's talk music then. Now, not to sound like a huge sweater, but I've been there from the start. Well, from I guess like as soon as Australia got your older stuff, like the Hollow, Challenger, and the EP as well. What was the EP called?
We had one called the Between the Lies EP.
Oh yeah.
And then the very first one was it Cowbells Making a Comeback EP? Was that what it was called?
I think so. Yeah.
Was that when you guys were a little bit more sort of southerny sounding?
Oh yeah, we were really young and real southern.
Because I was a huge fan of like obviously love Every Time I Die, Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, He's Legend, and we found you guys
same here.
Oh. But then when the next stuff came out and you went to the more metalcore sound, I was like, ooh, I mean, it's been a long journey for you guys. You've been around for a hot minute. And like you said, it's been 3 years since you released something. Now, obviously, all your shit rips, but you've come back with just this incredibly, insanely fucking rejuvenated vibe. And it's the best stuff you've ever done. What's happened? What's changed?
You used to suck.
Yeah, you guys don't suck anymore. It's great.
I wouldn't say that everything that we've done rips. I think that
bound to happen.
If everybody in the comment section had an opportunity to write 7 full-length albums, you would like kind of, I think you'd see it from a different perspective. Every season of life that changes, your taste that changes, your influence that changes, what you listen to changes, the people around you change, your environment, like everything kind of shapes experiences. Who's managing you, like what label you're on, some of the bands that you've toured with, like all this kind of stuff. And you go through these giant like ebbs and flows of like, who are we and what should we try next? And we have this freedom, and you know, like it's kind of, for us, we feel lucky that we've always had I guess just the freedom to kind of explore and go like down different avenues and say like, well, what if Memphis May Fire sounded like this? What would it be like? And for Kellen and I, there's not ever really a lot of trial and error. So if we go down a road, we're usually going down that road, you know. Like if we, you know, we sit down with a label and we're like, can we have a lot of money, and can we go to this city, and can we work with this producer, and can we like do this thing? And they're like, yes. Then we're like, here we go. And so we go and we do something, and we're like, I don't know, was that right? And we're like, I don't know, let's put it out and find out.
Yeah.
And so we've had those blessings, you know, like we had some success early on in our career that gave us this ability to go and try different things that was that's been a huge blessing. But I think that what people are hearing in our new stuff is being absolutely forced to get off of tour. One,
Mhm. Yep.
because of COVID, and two, to have nothing but music. It was never, you know, like, what do we have coming up? Like, what tour do we have coming up? What press? Like, what radio station visit? What, you know, meetings in this city or that? It's like literally the whole world shuts down. And as an artist, the only thing we had was the songs. And there is obviously a lot of angst in the world, a lot of confusion, a lot of differing opinions, and a lot to write about, you know, a lot that is going on in your own life, a lot that you're, you know, observing going on in other lives. And so when we had that ability to sit down and say there's nothing but the music, I would say that that's the closest that we've ever come to our first full-length album. You know the saying, you have your whole life to write your first record?
Yeah.
That's so true, because up until that point, up until the first big record deal and the first big tour and the first big opportunity, all that you have is your first record. And so that's all you can focus on. Once you have a record that does well, your brain is in so many different places that it's almost, I wouldn't say hard to be authentic, almost impossible to be authentic, because you have so many differing opinions and views that are being constantly like forced on you, or just you're seeing so much and feeling so much and hearing so much that you go in to make a record and you're like, I think this is great. Well, the pandemic, it gave us the opportunity to rediscover who we really are as Memphis May Fire. It's like, what was it that we created that that drew people to us, and who were we in that season when we were making that music, you know, like, and so rediscovering just like who we are as a band. And you know, it was a huge blessing. We were going to write, Kellen and I were going to fly all over the place and write with a bunch of different guys, some of our idols growing up, different producers and writers and stuff like that. And when everything shut down, we were like, all right, well, I guess we're going to make records in our bedrooms like we did when we were younger, you know, like the Between the Lies EP, that whole EP was written and recorded in Kellen's dad's house, in Kellen's bedroom at Kellen's dad's house. And people still love that. You know, it's so funny to think, like, when you're so pure, all that comes out of you is just authenticity. It's like, well, this is who I am, and it's on, and I'm bleeding on paper. Hopefully you like it. And then a lot of people,
like an innocence to it. Yeah.
there's innocence to it, you know? And since we couldn't travel all over the place, I asked Cody Quistad, who's my best friend and my neighbor and plays and writes for the band Wage War, right?
Yeah.
Just literally lives like a few minutes up the street from me. I was like, hey, do you want to write a song with me for the new record? And he's like, sure. So he comes over and we just start tackling vocals, and Somebody was the song. It was the first song that we wrote. And we had so much fun. Cody and I are so similar, and our energy is so similar that it felt more like a party and less like a writing session. Sometimes in writing sessions, you feel like this weird kind of underlying sense of judgment, where even if the other person isn't offering that, you feel like, can I actually share this idea? Because what if it sucks?
It's also
You know?
an intimate thing. Like you're sharing something that's like from within you. Sharing that with someone else, you kind of, I'm sure you can't help but feel very vulnerable about that.
It is totally. You're so right. You know, but for Cody and I, we're together every single day, whether we're throwing the baseball back and forth, or we're just like jamming new music or hanging out around the fire pit. It's like we know each other on such a deep level that, and I respect him so much and he respects me. And Cody grew up, you know, like listening to Memphis. So he has this different perspective of us than I do, even like as the viewer rather than the creator. And it turned out to be this really beautiful thing. And I was like, let's just write every song together, or all the lyrics for every song together. I'd come every day with like a hook. I'm like, what do you think about this? We just build and we'd have fun, and we'd, you know, it was just like it was so pure. We felt like innocent again. Kellen is a really great way to put it. And so it almost kind of, I guess it was the perfect recipe, like the perfect storm to rediscover who we are as a band and create music that we really resonate with, and that fans that caught on with us early on were really going to resonate with at the same time.
I think you're also going to find you're going to get newer audiences that are coming involved, because the quality, again, we're going to just blow smoke up your ass here, but the quality that you're putting out there is like second to none. Like it's up there. You've come back. Not only have you kind of redefined who you guys are, but you're also standing on the shoulders of giants and like towering above them in terms of like everything in the last, is this single six?
Six. Yeah.
This is number
So
6.
yeah,
Cool. We've done every one. And honestly, like everyone, we haven't had a bad word to say. And that's,
Yeah.
I think we pride ourselves on being pretty honest about how we actually feel, because we didn't want to just be like, hey, everything's great. And we wanted to be honest,
Yeah.
but it's true. Like we genuinely love everything you guys have put out, and everything has had its own feel. And you can tell that there has been a lot of time and effort put into that. My next question, though, is obviously you filmed a lot of these all at once because you've got that one setting with the TVs and stuff. So how long have you been sitting on all these songs?
We actually, every time that it's time to track and to put out a new song, we fly back to LA. We build that same set and we shoot it all.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I was like, you wear the same outfit every time too. Fuck.
No, so because we didn't know what this was gonna really look like at the beginning, we were like, okay, well, we know that we're gonna put out singles, and we want to do that over the course of this. We want to do this many songs over the course of this amount of time, and we want to have content for every single song. Usually, like you'll get a budget from your label that is enough to make 3 like really high quality music videos. And I was like, well, what if we just took some of that money and we shot content for every song? And yes, we know people are going to get tired of it. People are going to like, there's going to be a lot of comments about it. But when all is said and done and people can see the big picture that nobody actually knows right now, it will be like years from now, people will be able to watch this entire album in sequence in a live setting, which I don't know any other band that's offered that outside of like, live like streams and live performances, right? It will be, there will be a visual experience. People will be able to connect with us, the artist, the songwriter, in a visual way for every single song. So we're not just going to have 3 singles that people pay attention to and a bunch of other songs that have lyric videos. It's going to be, it's a visual thing that everybody will be able to watch and connect to. So
does that mean we've got 4 more singles coming?
I mean, who knows?
I think I know who knows.
Man,
I mean, if we do, we got to start booking flights back to LA to get in the front.
Yeah, real fast.
No, that whole setup that you guys have got, I'm not sick of it at all. It's actually been one of my favorite things, because now one thing that we've touched on every track, is the different tones that you're pulling from the guitars, especially Kellen. Like they all sound so different. They all have their own identity, but they all still flow seamlessly. And I really think that whole visual experience of you guys being in that setting, and that also helps tie all of that together. I personally love the whole same setting thing. I think it's great. One
of the things we've talked about here, because we do a lot of music, we do 2 videos a day, 7 days a week now. One of the things that we're finding with I guess maybe one of the outcomes of the pandemic is people got to be really creative with some of their film clips, and some people were not so creative. But sometimes if there's too much going on in the film clip, it can actually take away from the music. Whereas I feel like for you guys, each one, like we're 100% in on the music. It's cool to watch you guys perform, and it is like a live performance. But the main thing we're talking about and focusing on is actually the audio and the way you guys have put the songs together, which at the end of the day is what you guys are focusing on. Like you write the songs first and foremost, and the videos later on. So by having bless you, excuse that, it allows us to be the focus on what you've actually put all that time and effort into, which I think is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I think when I watch a lyric video that has like a visualizer to it, I spend so much time like watching the animation and trying to read the lyrics and stuff like that I feel like my brain's trying to do like 3 things. You know what I mean? It's trying to like pay attention to too many things instead of just like not having to read a bunch of lyrics and stuff like that. And you just listen to the music. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Statistically, like with this whole thing, we're going against the grain in almost every way. Like not just like putting out a record, like putting out a song at a time, and also putting out the same music video so many times in a row, right? And can you hear me twice? You can hear me twice.
You can?
Stop though.
Could. Now it's gone.
Check. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're
good. But sometimes we have to look at statistics and analyze them and say, why are we spending X amount of dollars on one video that gets 1 million views, but then we spent $500 on this live video that we shot in a garage of Jake's friend in Orlando, and it's got 5 million views. It's like, why is that? And it's like, well, I think people have this mindset. Everybody is stuck in this, like, we want 3 singles and then an album, and we want 3 really crazy music videos, and then we want to forget about you for the next 2 years, and then when you put out something next, we'll do that again. And it's like this like weird thing that everyone's so comfortable in it that no one's looking at the fact that it's actually hurting artists a lot. Yeah, and so we weren't scared to say, we know we're going to take heat from keyboard warriors, but when we look at this and we say, there are so many more people that are seeing simple live performance videos because for some reason they connect to that, even if they don't know that they connect to that. And there are so many people that pay attention to the 3 songs on an album on Spotify that have the little star next to it, and so many songs that you love on a record that never get any attention because it didn't make the playlist. So looking at that and saying, like, well, we really love these songs that we're putting out, so it's definitely worth it to us to take risks and to do something different, something that other people haven't seen, something that other bands are going to talk trash on, something that fans are going to talk trash on. But at the end of the day, 2 years from now, I think that we're going to be the band that everybody's copying with this whole format.
Have you had much backlash? I can't imagine you guys have had much backlash for all this. The songs are better than ever. I mean, people miss live music, so they're enjoying watching you guys like thrash it out in front of all those.
We've had an unbelievable response to the music. Absolutely. I'm just specifically talking about the music videos and the lack of an album currently, like the kind of the kickback on that. But I think for the most part, a lot of people are getting it and are really stoked about it and saying, well, dang, if we're just getting a new song from Memphis every month, then I'm into it. You know?
Yeah.
The playlist format as well is such a big thing now. And like you mentioned Spotify, like having those like new metal tracks, whatever drop, that people follow those playlists for that. If you guys are constantly refreshing in that playlist, it's going to only benefit you in the long run as well.
Playlisting is so valuable. It's so incredibly important. And yeah, I think that this format, for us at least, it's shown that it's not only just exciting for our fans and for new fans, it's exciting for us. Like we get really excited every month to have something new to drop and a new song to learn how to play live and all those things. It's just a good time, man. And we're stoked about what we've done so far. So
talk to us about live music. We're running out of time here. This is going really fast. But talk to us about live music. What's the plans coming up? Have you guys got tours lined up right now?
We do. Nothing that we can say at this point. But we do have something in the works. That's about all that I can say.
Great. Something is better than nothing.
Yeah, definitely. And we're really excited about it. It's like almost every other day, it seems like, you know, is touring a thing or is everybody canceling? Is this, you know, and so I'll just say, like, fingers crossed that it's going to work out. But I mean, we do have something that we're really excited about in the works right now. And we got to,
wait to see you guys in Australia.
Australia.
Last year we got to go out with Papa Roach and Breaking Benjamin and play arenas for the first time in our whole career. And that was like awesome. Unreal experience, and everyone was healthy the whole time. And so I think we might have kind of a jaded experience of, like, you know, like what touring during COVID actually looks like, because we just went out and we were catering.
We got spoiled. Yeah.
It's like, it was like just us on our bus. It was like so easy and rad, and so I think we're just like, let's go back out. But I know a lot of bands have come down with it, and it's been an issue. So we'll see what happens, but we do have plans.
We've got our fingers crossed for you. All right, we might leave it there before we run out of time. But boys, thank you so much for making time. You are welcome back anytime, both on here and in Australia. We can't wait to see you guys, and we are so stoked to have you guys return in such fine form.
Likewise, come hang out with us
you guys
sometime.
And come get some barbecue.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Keep posting those barbecue videos, because goddamn, man, every time you open that Traeger, I'm just like, oh, sweet.
It's a little
the grill master. The grill master Spring Hill. Yeah,
it's a little more challenging when it's like 20 degrees outside, which for us is cold, really cold.
For sure.
But yeah, we'll definitely be grilling still for sure.
You.
All right, we'll chat to you guys very soon. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
We don't know what we're dying for.